Hi everyone, my name is Claire. I am with Ribbon and Rogue and here at Canon Coffee. And I'm going to talk to you today about timelines. So your timeline is kind of like one of the most important parts of your day, I would say. It is really what the vendors use, your family uses, and you use in order to progress throughout the day and make sure that you stay on time and do all the events that you want to do. I am going to talk to you mainly about an American style wedding timeline. A lot of different cultures have a lot of different types of events and things like that that wouldn't necessarily be a part of this timeline, but is something that if you are bringing in these cultures, it is important that you add on to the timeline. But I'm just going to talk about like a basic American timeline for you. When I'm creating my timeline, I like to start off with the ceremony. For a non-denominational wedding, it is about 30 minutes I put for the time. That includes like time for your processional, recessional, as well as the ceremony. So you start your time at your ceremony, right? So let's say you want an evening. So your ceremony is typically around anywhere between 3 and 6 o'clock. I suggest looking at the time of the sunset to figure out what time is actually you want to start, because normally you want to start your ceremony probably 1.5 hours prior to sunset time. That way you have like the pretty golden photos during the day. And then once you figure out the time of your ceremony and you put that 30 minutes there, then we're going to start talking about like maybe having a cocktail hour. I do suggest like an actual hour for cocktail hour, not just like 45 minutes or 30 minutes. Now it is up to you, but having that whole hour is very important for photos. Your photographer is going to want at least 45 minutes to an hour with you and your family for during cocktail for photos. If you don't do it then, please plan on doing it prior to your ceremony. That is up to you, but 1 hour is really what we recommend to have photos. And then you're going to go into reception. So typically your reception is about 4 hours of an event time total, and that includes, your introductions, first dance, dinner, as well as, parent dances, cake cutting, any cultural events like the Hora or Lora Loca will all be within those 4 hours. And then you're going to want to make sure that you end your reception about an hour prior to the end of your venue time, just for cleanup. Now, a lot of venues will already tell you exactly when that's going to be. Some aren't going to tell you that, but normally you want to leave an hour at the end for cleanup. And then for your dances, make sure to put 5 minutes for dances, because you're going to need time to transition. Even though your song may only be 2, maybe 2.5 minutes long, please put 5 minutes on your timeline, because you're going to need, time for the announcement. Hey, it's parent dances. You're going to need time to find your parents, in order to dance. Then you're going to dance, and then you're going to break away. So don't do any dances less than 5 minutes. You're going to want to have that buffer time in order to really have a good flow of your wedding. Now we've talked about the ceremony as well as the reception and kind of how to create your timeline from ceremony to the end of your day. I also want to talk about pre-ceremony. So first off, you're going to want to make sure that all events that you have pre-ceremony, such as getting ready, details, hair, makeup, lunch, things like that, are going to happen at least end 30 minutes prior to ceremony. You want that 30-minute buffer before the ceremony to just recollect yourself, make sure we have time to line up, do go to the bathroom 1 second, make sure your dress is perfect, make sure any last second sweat gets taken off, things like that. You're going to want 30 minutes buffer between anything pre and then your ceremony start time. It also kind of helps for any guests that are running late or anything like that. If you tell them a little bit ahead of time, show up to ceremony 30 minutes beforehand. Photos beforehand, you have enough time for a first look, maybe if you're going to do that, as well as getting ready or detail shots. You're going to want to make sure you have time for that. Typically, first look is 45 minutes to an hour. Getting ready photos are around 30 minutes, and detail shots are anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes long. So you make sure you have enough time for all of those. Hair and makeup typically happens before the ceremony because you gotta look beautiful for the ceremony and the rest of your day. So some good tips for that is that for any brides out there, it's gonna be an hour and a half for hair and makeup. For any of your attendants, so bridesmaids, parents, flower girls, you're going to kind of estimate on 30 minutes for hair and 15 minutes for makeup. And you just kind of like keep on adding it towards the beginning of the day so you know what time you wake up based off of that. Don't worry if you don't really understand all of this, because we actually have a really awesome tool that actually helps you with this. So if you go online or you reach out to us, we can give you access to that tool. Or of course, we are professionals at what we do, and we would be more than happy to like kind of help you create a custom timeline based off of any events that you guys want to do or have plans for, and maybe make it a little bit more custom. Because again, what I talked about was an your traditional American wedding, not necessarily any cultural weddings. Follow us on social media and be sure to reach out to us on info@ribbonandrogue.com.